Hi, welcome to the Chemnitz University of Technology presentation guide. In this clip, we will take a closer look at good visuals. When it comes to presentations, PowerPoint, Keynote, and OpenOffice Impress are probably the most common tools to visualize content. Unfortunately, most of the PowerPoint presentations you see in seminars are designed poorly. Students hardly remember any of the presented content afterwards. Sometimes it seems like presenters commit all their time to generating content and forget to keep an eye on the structure and design of the presentation. What makes it even worse is that attending students use those presentations as a template when they are preparing their own PowerPoints. And that's how boring presentations somehow became the standard at the university. Let's try to do better. Here are 5 tips to improve your PowerPoint presentation. First, one message per slide. Second, visualize your content. Third, adapt the font size to the relevance of each point. Fourth, use contrast in order to direct attention. Fifth, don't use more than 6 objects per slide. Unfortunately, people tend to put as much information as possible on their slides. Consequently, the audience gets overwhelmed by new information and loses focus. It's then a real problem for members of the audience to read long text on the slides and at the same time to focus on the speaker. Multitasking isn't a thing. We just switch attention between the two things. And instead of supporting the talk, overloaded slides actually distract from it. Do your listeners a favor and concentrate on one message per slide. It makes your presentation much easier to follow. Let's do a quiz. Why do you want to use PowerPoint for your presentation? Wouldn't speaking be enough? Choose your answer. Is it number 1? I can read important information in case I forget it. Number 2. I can print it out and have a nice handout. Number 3. I can visualize my content in form of pictures, diagrams, and so forth. Or is it number 4? Because everybody is doing it. Let's check the answers. While the first 2 answers are possible benefits of using a PowerPoint presentation, they shouldn't be your reason for using it. You can write important notes on cards so you never get lost during a presentation. A handout should also be prepared separately. And just because everybody else is doing it should never be your reasoning behind your decisions. So let's come to the correct answer. Visualize your content. Creating and showing graphs and diagrams is the big strength of PowerPoint. Use it to show important results and relations between ideas. See for yourself, which of the following examples do you find more interesting? Example A or example B? Pictures are easier to process, and so your audience can focus on your content instead of reading text. When it comes to deciding for font size, always remember that the font sizes should reflect the relevance of the text on your slides. Let's look at this typical example. The topic is in large print and the subpoints quite small. The problem here is that when you are talking about the content, in this case the subpoints, the focus will be drawn automatically to the topic. For the audience, it is not quite clear what to focus on. If you increase the font size of the points you want to talk about, it will be easier for your listeners to follow. There are many ways to emphasize special points on your slides. An easy and elegant way to do this is to create contrast within your slides. In this way, you can show what point in particular you are referring to. Also, you can show where the audience should focus its attention. It's almost comparable to a laser pointer. I know it may sound obvious, but reducing the number of objects on your slides helps your listeners to concentrate on your presentation. If there are too many objects on a slide, your audience loses its focus and maybe doesn't get all the content. On the other hand, if you reduce the number of objects on your slides to a maximum of 6, it makes it much easier to process all the necessary information. And if you want to jump into creating your presentation, I have one more tip for you. Chemnitz University of Technology provides slide templates for its students. You can find the link here or in the description box below.